What is going on, everybody? Alrighty, so if you guys have noticed, actually, I'll jump over there right now. Just to kind of put things a little easier for my organization, what I did was I created a new, or I guess it's just a sub channel, just for crypto. So it's Fibs and Profit Crypto. That way it's just a little easier for me to keep track of everything. And I'll keep the main one just for the trading part of it. So I'll still be doing all of my trading calls. Any value that I'm going to drop for trading aspects will go into that one. And then everything crypto related, you know, my crypto mining, the node running, some of the projects I'm looking at, that I'll be dropping into this. All right. That way it's just easier. I started to get a little overwhelmed with the amount of playlists that I was having. And it was getting a little too tough to kind of just keep it organized. So this being the first video I'm going to be doing, you know, I kind of just wanted to go through a couple of things I was looking at before I hit the rack. It's actually almost midnight right now. So I'll be getting up early, a little London session trading, hopefully Thursday morning. But this is something that I've been watching. Most of you guys know I actually have a helium hotspot that I run for helium mining. And if you guys are, if you're fortunate enough to have acquired a miner or a hotspot before it just went crazy, you'll notice that your earnings have been down probably since the first of the year. Actually, the last major update back in November is what really took a hit. You know, I was averaging anywhere between 45 to 65 helium tokens a month, and now I'm barely making 6 to 9 of them. So one of the main things here is back on the 28th, the end of January, they pushed out an update, and it really caused a ruckus on the Reddit boards. It's actually pretty good humor if you want to jump on Twitter to Helium's actual Twitter feed, or if you want to jump on Discord as well. It was kind of going crazy. The main, I guess the biggest issue right now is that, you know, you have your miners and you have your validators, your node operators. And for some reason, the node operators here are not, they're not really positioning themselves in a way that's going to be beneficial to the actual community, right? What they're doing is they're either their hardware, or for whatever reason, they can't keep up. So what Helium did was they changed the POC challenge interval. They went, it was raised from 360 to 475. Which they say should lower the target POC request per block from 1100 to 800. So essentially what they're doing is they're trying to slow down the blockchain, which, you know, for miners like myself, we don't want it to slow down. We want to increase, because increased traffic equals higher rewards, right? So, and then you can see the POC max witness per hop will be lowered from 18 to 14. So this is something that definitely caused a ruckus on the Reddit boards. And the CEO of Helium actually responded. Here's a from Amir Halim, who is the CEO, actually responded to a bunch of the reports, and he said that you know, he came out, pretty much said that what they're trying to do is just keep the blockchain running. If you guys remember, actually it went down for about 2 days last week. And then back in December, it was down for a while as well. It was down for almost like 5-6 days. And again, I mean, you know, they're not putting blame on the validators themselves, but in reality, they're the ones that can't keep up. So if you're going to be and essentially what you need to do to be a validator, right, is you're staking a really large amount of helium. And just like every other node operator, whether it's Ethereum, whether it is FLUX, whatever it is, you know, you have a responsibility to maintain the network. That's the whole point of decentralization, right? That's the whole reason why there's, you know, thousands upon thousands of operators out there running these nodes so that it can't cripple the blockchain. And what Helium is telling us is that they can't keep it up. So as a miner, that kind of gives me a little bit of concern, right? I'm going to continue to mine helium. I'm meaning, at this point, I've ROI'd on my hotspot. It is, income coming in. But it is definitely something that I definitely have issues with on the helium side. They really need to, and of course everyone's giving their 2 cents, and rightfully so. There's things that they need to do to put into place to make sure that these node operators are operating with efficiency, operating with, the right equipment. And that's what this one guy right here, Jack Bagel 20 pretty much said. They need to make sure that the hardware they have is functional for the demand that is being put on the blockchain, which when we get over to FLUX real quick, I'll definitely bring that up. They have a minimum requirement for each one of their nodes, which is something that needs to be put into place, right? Speaking on helium, right? Just to throw in there, you can go over to Fast Miners. I threw this on my Twitter page, and if you go over to Fast Miners, they actually have some sense caps in for MSRP. I think they're just under $500. Let's see. I just want to see if they're still in. I saw them today. I posted it as soon as I saw the Twitter feed, so I threw it out there. Oh wait, no, this is just the. Hold on, let's go to fastminers.ie. All right, bear with me here. Hold on. Let me get over here. I just want to get the direct link. So we'll go over here to my Twitter page real quick. And I'm starting to get a little more, I'm starting to post a little more on Twitter. Obviously it's just retweets. I'm not going to be, I'm really not somebody who tweets a lot of stuff, but I feel like I get a lot of really good information from Twitter, just based off of what people are throwing out there. So, I definitely will share the wealth, right? Here it is right here. So I posted it, 10 hours ago is when I posted it. So if you come over to here, right, Action CEO, one of the guys I follow, threw this out there for Fast Miners, and they are a US based supplier for a bunch of stuff, right? This is where I got my DPR, DPN. But yeah, so you could see a SenseCap N1 for 569. They do have a couple in stock. Just make sure that you're getting one that is a mineable one. And I'm just curious to see if they're giving an estimated Bobcat, man. I'll tell you what, Bobcat has really dropped the ball. So currently you can only buy US ones, the 915 megahertz ones. And the only thing about this is you do have to pay in crypto. So you have to send US dollar coin on the Ethereum network, which back when I bought something from Fast Miners myself, Ethereum gas fees weren't ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, if you look right now, they aren't too shabby. They're sitting right here around 52, which isn't too bad. But yeah, definitely check them out. It's something worthwhile to get to. So it is just fastminers.io, and you can go to their website and pick it up there. All right. So moving along, like I said, definitely, and you can see here's my hotspot here. 24 hours, I've made 0.134 tokens, which is just horrible. I mean, I used to make 0.134 tokens probably in a couple of, in probably 2 or 3 of these beacon challenges and whatnot. And now I'm getting it in a 24-hour range. Like I said, I used to average about 45 to 55 tokens a month. And the last 30 days, you can just see where earnings have just been dismal. I mean, I had one good day right in here where I almost made half an H&T on that one day. And that's typically what I was seeing, was half an H&T to almost one full H&T token a day. So this is the uproar, and as more and more miners are coming on, right, we can look right here and you can see that, we're over the half a million mark. When I first started my mining, my mining journey with H&T, I remember like they had just broken 100K. And in the last 30 days, they've added almost 85,000. So as this starts to get more and more inundated with miners, we're going to start to see those rewards, start to slow down. So when you are looking at purchasing, these hotspots, again, do as you wish. Just keep in mind, the whole goal of doing all of this is, you don't want to be spending unwanted money, right? So you want to understand what your return on investment date is going to be. So just throw that out there. All right. Moving on. So Helium, it's doing its thing. I actually, the next thing I wanted to talk about was Presearch, right? So I'm actually going to upload one of the videos I uploaded on my other channel on Presearch and how to actually run a node, how to stake the 2000 pre that's required, which honestly, I think Presearch right now is trading at, actually here, we'll take a look at it right now. Just so you guys can see, it's really not a significant investment. Obviously, when I did it, Presearch was way lower. I want to say we might be at like 20 cents right now on Presearch. So let's just give it a quick little look. So Presearch is currently sitting at 26 cents. So obviously, I mean, when I got in, it was a whole lot less, but you're not really looking at a very large investment. It only requires 2000 pre, right? So you're going to be, it's just over $500 is what you're going to need to stake. And again, I'll drop that video on how to stake, how to run. In my case, I ran it on a Raspberry Pi, and I'll even show you how to do it in that video. I'll show you how to do it on a VPS, right? I kind of break down what Presearch is, but the reason I'm talking about it is because one of the biggest things here is one of the guys I follow here on YouTube that I actually last year got into Presearch because of, he had an interview with Colin Pape, who is the CEO of Presearch. And, right now Presearch, if you watch that video, Presearch is still in a test net stage. So the earnings that I'm receiving, the earnings I've made off my searches and off of my node that I'm running are just in the test phase. And once it goes main net, which, I'll drop this link to this video down below as well, so you can watch it. It's about a 14-minute video. It's actually pretty cool. They're actually going to be no longer just like an add-on, but they're going to have their own site, their own. They've purchased the rights to the website. They've got everything put together. And once the main net, which they're anticipating very, very soon to go fully operational, we'll start to see those rewards really start coming in. So check it out. Something I really like I said, I'll drop the video below. And going with Presearch, right? Going with Presearch, staying on it. And you can see I've made this month, I've made 97 Presearch just in searches. Going on Presearch, one of the things that, and I'll drop my referral link down below. If you and if you don't want to run the node, you just want to use it as a search engine, you'll actually get, they're giving out for people that sign up under referral links, 25 free Presearch. And then, you'll be able to start going right off the bat with some Presearch earned. So it costs you nothing to do it. You just sign, you literally just create an account. And in my case, I use Google Chrome. You can just have you can have it embedded into Google Chrome as the default search engine. All right. But what I wanted to talk about was Presearch with FLUX. Right. And this is something that I want to say last month, I'm a crypto miner. I GPU mine. I have an ASIC. I have hotspots. But, with Ethereum going proof of stake, supposedly, in the next couple of months here, The CEO or the CSO, Daniel Keller, had an AMA and pretty much reassured GPU miners that Flux is here to stay for GPU mining, for proof of work, and which is pretty good. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of fear out there, especially for miners that are not that are either trying to get into the scene now or are still, you know, on the hook for some large amount of money that they have invested in their equipment. With Flux, right? With Flux, and I'm going to talk about Flux with two things. And I did a previous video on Flux. I'll drop that down below as well. Flux, a decentralized Web 3.0 project, I think by far has the ability to become, as far as market cap goes, to become very soon within the top 20 cryptocurrency that we have, right? And I think it's very, very important. I was fortunate enough, you know, I didn't want to talk too much about the trading aspect of it. But I was fortunate enough to hop in just because of my mining experience with it, hop in some really, really good buys on Flux. And, you know, most of you guys that do know my trading style, I'm you know, very big into Wyckoff. I'm very big in smart money. You know, I have a really good understanding of what the market presents itself, right? So way back when we actually called out a really good buy on Flux. Let's go. Here we go. Flux. So really knocked out a home run with it. I actually, you know what, I got a night mode here, so I don't know if this is going to work too well, but we actually called out a buy way down here. I mean, Flux is trading out $1.83 right now. It got up as high as almost $3.40. Over 1,000% R to R on it. And, you know, coming out of this accumulation phase, you know, we, where I personally took some buys, I got in around the 13 to 16 cent mark after this accumulation. And, you know, yeah, I was looking for price to come back into some decent areas. I really like what we saw. And then, you know, the reaccumulation here was just the catapult to it, you know, so getting some more buys in around the 35 cent mark is where I got in, and you can just see what happened from there. I mean, we just went, you know, literally parabolic on it. So I do like what Flux did on the charts. The technicals lined up with the fundamentals. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about with that. Now with Flux, how does that tie into Presearch, right? So you can actually hop on to Flux here, right? Run on FLUX.io, and you can run a Presearch node through Flux. It's pretty self-explanatory, right? All you have to do once you come over here and you jump on Flux's site, right? Run on FLUX.io. It's very, very simple. You come over here and there's a lot of great information on Flux. Actually, I hit the wrong one. Hold on. There's some really good information on Flux. And what I wanted to talk about along with Flux, right, was the up and coming, and this is the video I did last month, the up and coming changes, right, in Q1. And they're talking about March 1st. Right now, the requirement for running the lowest level Flux node is 10,000 Flux, right? And Flux currently sitting at $1.83. In Q1, they're going to reduce that to 1,000 Flux. And the main reason what Daniel Kellner was talking about was that the requirement that they're going to be putting on the blockchain is going to require a lot of nodes. Those of you guys that are keeping up with what is going on with the cellular services, AT&T, one of the largest cell providers in the world, will be shutting down their 3G network at the end of this month. So that's really going to, and you know, I'm sure a large amount of the population doesn't run off of a 3G network, but a lot of IoT devices do. So Flux is hoping to slide right in there and pick up where a lot of these cell providers that are discontinuing 3G support, our FLUX is going to just slide into that. And you can see, I mean, the Cumulus one, it is a, it's a 1,000 FLUX collateral, meaning you're staking it. You're not losing it. You're just staking it. You're locking it up into a staking reward system. You can see the node requirements, depending on the type of node you're going to run. All right. Is the type of software and hardware you're going to be required, right? So on the lowest level, you need a 2-core, right? A 2-core computer system. And in this case here, you can use a Raspberry Pi. I find those to be extremely effective. All you got to do is just connect, you get a Raspberry Pi with 8 gigs of RAM and you throw a minimum of 220 gigabytes SSD drive into it, which is pretty simple. That's all you need. Your internet needs to have 25 megabytes up and down potential. That's it. It's nothing crazy. So keep this in mind. I've like I said, I dropped this last month. As soon as I saw it on the Reddit board, this came directly from FLUX, right here on their FLUX official Reddit board. They've been updating. They're still saying that March 1st is when they're going to do it. So I've kind of been telling everybody that's in my circle, if you aren't mining FLUX, right, go ahead and start purchasing it just so you have it on the sidelines there waiting for the node structure to change so you can jump on in and secure a node. With that FLUX, right, the other thing I was talking about was Presearch. And one of the things you can run directly through the FLUX IO system is you can come in and you can dive right into it, running a node on Presearch directly through FLUX. And you can see right now the infrastructure, 10,000 FLUX is a requirement. All right. And what you're doing is you're getting 7.5% for every block reward that is mined. On the second tier, you're getting 12.5%. And on the third tier, you're getting 30%. All right. So I think right now, if I remember correctly, I think 65 FLUX is the reward per block reward. So on the lowest level, for every block that's mined, you're getting 7.5% of that, which is, essentially is a pretty good deal. All right. And you can come right in there and run your Presearch node directly through FLUX. It costs you 1 FLUX. So in this case, $1.83 costs you 1 FLUX a month to run it through the FLUX network instead of using like a Raspberry Pi and running it through your home and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, that was Presearch. And that's something that I found very, very interesting to do. The other thing that you can also do, is you can run bear with me. There we go. You can run through Presearch. You can have that tied to multiple IP addresses, right? So you can only have it to one, you can only have one node per IP address. Obviously, what some people do, in like my case, I have one at my current home running on a Raspberry Pi. I have a second on a VPS that I pay a VPS service for, and just having the 2 nodes running at that point. So hopefully that makes sense. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is something that I came across yesterday. I don't have all the specifics. A lot of it is still pretty vague, right? But it is actually, it's a pretty cool little system, right? It's blockcreate.io. And when you come over here, they call it a game. It's really not a game. But what you're doing is you're buying a miner, right? So you're buying a miner. So the first thing you need to do is you need to acquire a block. These things are $249. They're actually like a little nightlight, but in that nightlight, like you plug it in, right? You plug it into, it's actually does have a battery for 8 hours, but you plug it in, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, and you can change the colors. It's like a little nightlight. I'll probably throw it on my desk here. And then it has your essentially your keys to a block. To a wallet that you're able to mine. And what this does is you'll be able to create teams. And this is where the game aspect comes in. I've read the white paper. Obviously, I'm going to wait for some more information to come out. It's not active yet. Right now, it's just physically just mining crypto on it. And it's it's almost like a lottery system, because when you come over here, right, when you come over here to the, where are they? To the, let me go over here to shop. Hold on. So and down below, you'll see the white paper that you can read about it if you want some more information, right? So it's a lottery system right now. They have the Ethereum, they have BTC, they have Cardano, Algorand, and then there's two others. But here it is, Block Unlimited, 249. They're going to be shipping. So right now, I don't know exactly what batch, if you purchase it right now, you're going to be in, right? When I purchased mine, I was in batch 4, what they're saying right here is a March to April delivery, which is perfectly fine for me. They are a US company. You pay, in my case, I just paid with my credit card. And the most important thing here is what it's actually going to be doing, right? So when you come over here, you'll be clicking on let's see here. There we go. You'll be clicking on, come on, their website's kind of dragging a little bit. I'm trying to get to the actual, here we go. All right. Okay. So here you go. So pretty much what you're doing is you're just going to have to update and put some attributes into it, right? So the base model first editions, those aren't for sale anymore, right? That was the first group. But what you can do is you can, based on the team, right? You'll have you can join a team, you can do team captains, you can, essentially have, if you think of it from an aspect of just somebody who's caretaking the mining farm, right? That can put in, a little more strength into it, maybe speed and agility. And all of these things are ultimately going to determine how much coin you're actually mining, right? So, again, the white paper just kind of briefly speaks about it. I don't know the specifics. We'll see what happens. But do you need to, can you just sit there, plug it in and do like a plug and play kind of thing? From what I've read, you can, right? You're just not going to have the optimal set, it's not going to be the optimal settings, but you're still going to mine your cryptocurrency on it. And what I was talking about, the different blockchains on it. So if you come over here to Explorer, here we go. So if you come over here to the Explorer, you'll see that these are all the different types of blocks that are being sent out. So all the first editions are no longer available, right? But you can see you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana. There is, I know Algorand is in here as well. So it's all a matter of what you get. So if you get a block that has Cardano, you're going to be mining Cardano. If you get a block that has Polkadot, you're going to be getting Polkadot. You get one that has BTC, you're going to be mining BTC, right? So that's essentially how this all works. So it's going to be a lottery system, I guess, when you get your box, what kind of crypto you're going to be mining. But I thought it was pretty cool. Some of the data that I've been seeing, on average, you're seeing anywhere from a $60 to about $150 return right now. So for $250, I said, why not? I mean, if I can get an ROI of less than 3 months on this and pay for itself, that's all I needed. That's all I really need to do. After that, it's risk-free and I can go about my way with it. But this is something I thought was pretty cool. I'll drop this down below as well, like the blockcreate.io. You can read up on the white paper. like I said, the game aspect of it, it's not active yet. So I don't even know, I haven't seen how it actually, the ins and outs of the workings of it. I have no idea how it works. But I do know that it is literally something you plug, connect to your Wi-Fi, and it over time just builds crypto for you, right? It's a miner that is giving you earnings from it. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, something I came across yesterday, I thought it was pretty cool, and go from there. But other than that, that's kind of what I wanted to touch base on. The mining farm itself, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm up to I'm up actually to 30 cards right now, and I got my 31st one coming in. I snagged for a really good price a 3080 Ti. It's going to be the only 3080 Ti that I have. The biggest cards I had were a couple of 3070 Ti's, but pretty happy with it. I'm at 30 cards, total of 7 rigs, and the 3080 Ti, I'll definitely be diving in. I may actually do a video this weekend on, I'm dual mining Ethereum and Lithium. And it's actually pretty profitable. I don't lose a lot of my Ethereum earnings. I'm only losing about 10%, but I'm making, on top of the 10% loss, I'm making almost another 10% just in the Lithium. So, for those of you guys that are mining, definitely I'll kind of, this weekend I'll do something on it, but there's plenty of videos out there. This is something that's pretty brand new. Just came probably within the last 30 days, the availability to mine on it. So with that being said, have a good night. I'm going to hit the rack. And again, if you come across this, subscribe to this channel, because this is where I'll be dropping all the crypto stuff. And I'll use the other channel. The main channel is just like the trading aspect of it, so I can keep track of all the playlists. With that, have a good night. See you later.